What if it was possible to have local, fresh groceries delivered right to your door? Think of all the free time you'd have. Well, Instacart gives unlimited grocery delivery for one low monthly fee. Forgot that special ingredient in your favorite dish? Instacart can deliver it to your front door in as fast as 1 hour. You can shop multiple stores, see deals in your area, and save time and money. I've been using Instacart for over 3 years. I started using them in Arizona, and I'm using them here in Florida. I love the time-saving convenience. They pick the freshest products, and they keep my eggs safe too. To receive your first delivery free, follow the link in the show notes so that Instacart knows that we sent you and to help support the show. Instacart. Never step foot in a grocery store again. Welcome to Empowered Within, a soul-quenching, transformational podcast that will set your soul on fire through candid and inspiring conversations. Leading experts, celebrities, healers, and I share our journeys of how we've overcome challenges to living an empowered life from within. I'm your host, Jennifer Pilates. Welcome to another episode of Empowered Within. Hi there, and welcome to today's show. I'm honored to have with us Erin Ley. She is an award-winning speaker, best-selling author, business empowerment coach, and host of the Life on Track TV show. After overcoming a terminal cancer diagnosis at the young age of 25, Erin has taken her personal survival journey to create a step-by-step process for realizing true peace of mind, synergy, and success. Erin's mission in life is to introduce the idea of love into the workplace to encourage team building, loyalty, and leadership. For over 30 years, Erin has shown tons of thousands of business globally how to become victorious by being focused, fearless, and excited. Well, Erin, I'm excited to have you on the show today. Welcome.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So take me on your journey. Take me back to 25-year-old Erin, where things began and how your life began to change at that point.
Sure. So I was working on Wall Street. And I had the Series 763, the insurance license in my early 20s. My Aunt Rita was one of the first women traders on Wall Street. So for me, as a little girl riding around in limos with the vibe that Aunt Rita had, it was just amazing. So I did it. And it was Wall Street in the late 80s. And it was mostly men. And it was before Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas. So there was a lot of stuff going on. It wasn't quite the experience I expected. But I was doing power lunches, closing deals with people twice my age, and trying so hard to be more mature than I was, to be more, just to be more of outer world based. I was looking to the outer world for validation for how pretty I was, how smart I was, how successful I was going to be, and very superficial. I had no idea, Jennifer, and everybody listening, I had no idea about the whole inner world until I got sick. And I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 25, took me out of the Wall Street game. And one of the biggest blessings that could have happened at the time, I was horrified, devastated, shocked. I was screaming, only old people get cancer. There was nobody in my demographic that I knew of that had cancer. This was a long time ago. And people at that time also thought cancer was still contagious. That there was just, in 1991, it was just a bizarre time.
I had never heard that, Erin.
Yes. There were people that still thought it was contagious. I'm like, I can't give you cancer.
Oh my God, I'd never heard that. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh, you poor thing.
Yeah. So the treatment was 2.5 years. The protocol was 2.5 year thing that went on. And a friend of mine recommended a book, Full Catastrophe Living by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Such a cool book. And at the end of the book, there was a cutout that I sent in snail mail for meditation on mindfulness. I never stayed still for 30 seconds with myself, no less 30 minutes. So I ordered the cassette tape. I did the mindfulness meditation. And then I ordered Shaki Gawain's book, Creative Visualization. And that was an amazing book. So I married visualization with meditation, and miracles started to happen. Every time the team of doctors would come in and they, I had a white blood count of 0, an infection they didn't know where it was coming from. And the doctors would come in crying, saying I was going to die. I had to get my things in order. And they were calling my parents to come and say goodbye. And I was like, get out of my room. You didn't tell me about this whole inner world. And now I knew that there was so much more I could do for myself. And I want everybody listening to know you can heal yourself from within. The doctors, they do their best. And I love my doctors and they're practicing medicine, but that's all they can do. They can go based on their knowledge, what they learned in school. And there's so much more, even with COVID, what's going on here. So that's basically how this whole thing started. And for 30 years, that's actually how I started coaching. The doctors at Sloan Kettering started having their patients call me at home because I lived every time I said I was going to die. I went on to have 3 miracle kids that they swore would never happen. And so Sloan Kettering literally started having the doctors started having their patients call me at home. And that's how I started coaching in the 90s. And I've been doing it for 30 years and I love it.
That is an amazing journey and transformation to come through. Wow. What an experience. What do you feel is the biggest aha moment that you had during your diagnosis and the treatment?
There was so many. The biggest aha moment was when I finally fully aligned with who I truly was. Again, like I said at the beginning, I was so outer world focused. I took everybody else's belief of who I was on as truth. And one of the biggest aha moments was that doesn't mean anything. It's people's opinions. And when I became fully aligned with who I truly was, that was a massive epiphany. Mm-hmm. And then I just looked within, follow the golden rule, do the right thing by other people, look to serve others. But I don't have to look to anybody for anything. Mm-hmm. Everything we need is right within.
So for those out there who are saying, that sounds great, Erin, but how the heck do I align? Where does that even begin?
It starts with quieting your mind. You know, a lot of us are up in our head saying, oh my God, the bills, or there's so many things, health, relationships. There's so many things that we're focusing on that's wrong with our life that we have to fix, where you can drop out of that, drop into your heart and just focus on what's right with your life, because what we focus on expands. Where thoughts, Tony Robbins says all the time, where thoughts go, energy flows. And it's true. And I always say what we think about, we bring about. What we speak about, we bring about. And so the first thing for people to do what I did and to have the miracles start to happen in your life is guard your thoughts carefully. Really stay focused on gratitude, what you have to be grateful for in your life. That means focusing on what's right with your life. Have a vision for your life, crystal clear. I'm all about vision and decision. That's my thing. You know, have a crystal clear vision for exactly what you want personally and professionally. My whole brand is Life on Track, personally and professionally. So that's how you start. Your thoughts, you start with becoming aware of the thoughts you're thinking. You become the observer of your own thoughts, mm-hmm. which you can do. Observe your thoughts. And then when you start to see, oh my God, I'm entertaining that negative thought a little too long, you could stop it and shift into gratitude. Mm-hmm. And it's a choice of what we think about all day, every day.
And how do you do that when you're having a moment and all of a sudden you realize that you've gone into maybe a negative thought? What practice do you do to shift that mindset and bring it back?
I meditate. I literally, because I know when I start to feel cortisol flying, like when I start mm-hmm. to feel like, you know, if I'm in a situation when I have to handle something and you feel yourself going there, I know how to just quiet the mind. I'm very solution oriented. My father, he's always amazed at the level of how solution oriented I am because I don't go into worry. I know that worrying is just, it's not even that it's a waste of time. It is that, but it also attracts to you the people, places, and things that will keep you stuck in worry. I interviewed Sharon Lechter. She's the co-author of the whole Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, and she's phenomenal with Napoleon Hill Foundation. And I interviewed her, and I'm friends with her now. And she said, when she said this to me about 2 years ago, worrying is just a prayer for what we do not want. I was like, whoosh,
yes,
Jennifer.
So much yes right now.
Yes.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah. So that's what people can do. Shift out of the worry. It will never serve you, and switch into gratitude that you have full control over. It's the one thing I say, God. Some people say source, spirit, whatever it is, your higher power, whatever you refer to your higher power as. I say, God. It's the one thing God gave us full control over. What we do with our thoughts when they enter our head, our mind, there's nothing else we can control. We can't control our kids. We can't control our blood flow. We can't control the weather. Nothing except what we do with the thoughts when they enter our head. It's the most powerful thing that he could have given us control over, because then we're manifesting, we're creating what we want with our life.
Yes, which
based
is
on our thoughts, and have the feelings match the thoughts, and you're unstoppable.
it's so amazing. Now, you talk about meditating. Tell me about the practice that you use, because it's very different for each and every individual. So what is meditation to you?
To me, first of all, to me, meditation is everything. I love meditation. And it puts you in the present moment, which is where everything happens. Nothing happens. We can't create anything from the past. We can't create anything from the future. Everything is happening in the present moment. So meditation brings you fully present. I meditate within the first 17 seconds of waking up in the morning, because I know, and I have my phone. People say, oh, don't sleep with the phone by you. I have my phone on my nightstand so that when I wake up in the morning, I go to YouTube, right in the search bar, it comes up the meditations that I enjoy doing on gratitude, on abundance, on whatever it is that I'm meditating on that morning. But within the first 17 seconds, because your brain is just starting to wake up, and it will just absorb everything that you're feeding it at that point. So it gets me out in front of my day, and I just lay in bed, nice and simple. And you could do it for 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be this hour sitting on a pillow with in the lotus position. It could with incense burn. It could just be very simple. You could be like, there was a time I was going through a divorce a few years ago, so I wasn't able to just do it right then and there in the first 17 seconds, because now I had 3 kids. They were 10, 11, and 15 at the time. So I went into my car. After I got up, I went into my car, drove to a parking lot, shut the car off, and just meditated. So you could do it. You could fit it into your schedule. You could do it however it'll work for you, but do it.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Do it. It's a game changer.
And do you have moments of meditation throughout the day as well, where you may be in a predicament where the world is beckoning and you're like, no.
Yeah.
What do you tell me and walk me through those steps when you've got that going on?
Again, if I have a situation going on, or if the cortisol is flying, or even segmenting from one, if I'm out doing a presentation and then I have to switch and then go into coaching, I'll just meditate for 3-4 minutes just to have that present moment switch in mindset. So I meditate throughout the day. There's some days it doesn't have to be like a right or wrong thing. If you do it, then you're right. If you don't do it, then there's something wrong. No, you do it and you make it work for you so that you feel empowered by your meditation. Because again, I can't emphasize enough how important meditation is, how grounding it is. And there's even out-of-body experiences that can happen when you go into a full-on meditation. That's extraordinary. Mm-hmm. Extraordinary. And then again, you marry that with visualization and you're unstoppable with what you can create.
Absolutely. Knowing what you know now, for those out there who may be struggling with a similar diagnosis to what you had, or maybe a family member, what advice would you give them?
Don't feed the fear. Don't feed the fear. Live in faith. I say enveloped in faith. Take a leap enveloped in faith that things will work out. You have to have that positive mindset, and it's done by repetition. It's called autosuggestion. I'm a contributing author in a 13-book series called The 13 Steps to Riches, based on Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, the 13 principles in that book. And the third book that we wrote was on autosuggestion. And all that is repeatedly telling yourself the same thing over and over again, because then your subconscious takes it on as a belief. So you just have to, instead of feeding the fear and taking that on as a belief, because you're repeatedly saying it, you have the feeling matching it, and all of a sudden that becomes powerful. And then you attract to you the people, place, and things that will keep you stuck in that. You can stop that momentum. You can halt that and shift out of it in faith, and just live your life. Again, find something to focus on that you're grateful for. Yeah, anything at all. It could be that we have drinking water, that we could shower in the water. We don't have to go walk miles to get it. The cool side of the pillow on a hot day. It could be anything, the clothes on our back, anything at all to be grateful for. And the more you stay focused on that, and I always say excellent health, repeatedly see your body with the white light and excellent health. And the more you feed that, the more of that you'll have. Because again, the power of focus, right? What we focus on expands. Mm-hmm. So you want to focus on excellent health and don't feed the fear. So that's my biggest.
That's incredible advice and can be well used by all of us for sure. So with talking about excellent health, how is your health now, considering everything that you went through?
And it's so funny because, not funny, funny like in an odd sense. I said that, God, I've been talking about my cancer experience from the stage forever, for decades, forever. The live stages, the podcast, TV shows, Clubhouse, like any stage. And with the COVID vaccine thing, and I'm not a proponent for it. I'm not a proponent against it. You do you. It's a personal thing. You just, whatever works for you, you do you. And there's no judgment. And I held out for as long as possible because I wanted to see babies being born okay. And so I literally held out. But I wouldn't have been able to go to conferences and stuff like that for my business had I not gotten it. So I got the first vaccine in August, got the second one in September, and I had no health issues for years. I'm like, I felt so good. And my cardiologist had followed my heart with echoes every year because I had 2.5 years of chemo. So that's just, they've watched it and it's been fine. No problems. After the second dose, it put me into congestive heart failure. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I was flying to California. I'm doing book signings at Barnes & Nobles, going to these conferences that were extraordinary, speaking, doing all these things, flying to speak on an Amazon TV show in Dallas. And once a month, I was getting like these swelling in my ankles and my stomach would get distended. And I'm like, what is this? And I was like, oh, I'm 56. Like, this is part of the whole, whatever goes on with the body changes every 7 years. And then in December, it came and didn't leave. So I ended up going to a couple different doctors and it was congestive heart failure. So 3 of the 4 doctors said, do not get the booster. And the one doctor that said, I can't say it's from the shot because there's not enough data. And then at the same time, he says, I don't know how this happened to you because your heart's been fine for all these years. And I was like, it is what it is. But I did the meditation. I did the visualization. And this was just literally in January. They did the echo and they saw that my ejection fraction was at 26. And it was so bad. And now I feel phenomenal, fantastic. The doctors are shocked at like how I turned everything around so quickly because I credit what I'm teaching. I keep saying like God wanted me to have new material to talk about from the stage. So here you go.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah, they can see me walk through it. It's not just hearsay. They can see who I am as I'm going through it.
So your echoes, everything is back to being perfect and you're back to being amazing.
The echo I'm having done in another month because they can only do it every 3 months. Mm-hmm. But based on what they're hearing, seeing, examining, and everything else, there's no fluid. There's my heart from listening to it. There's no fluid. I had fluid in my lungs. It was backing up into my lungs. All gone. All gone. So it's just a formality of go for the echo, get the number. But from what they can tell, phenomenal. And they're, like I said, they're shocked at the rapid turnaround.
Erin, I'm so grateful. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy that you're doing better. And again, like you said, what an incredible way to be able to go, hey, now I have something different to talk about. Look at me now. Now I have 2 stories, not just one. I think that's great. And I really appreciate this today. I think this is something that I actually need for my own personal life right now as a good reminder, because sometimes it's hard to practice what we preach. And so you're definitely giving me a very good reminder. So I, for one, say thank you. And I know this is going to help so many of our listeners too, who go, oh my gosh, I've been through the same thing. And that's right. Sometimes we forget that our healing is really at our fingertips, literally.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And neuroscience is proving it. It's not just the spirituality kind of like neuroscience is proving it. Mm-hmm. And the more we stand in love, and my book, Work Love, it went #1 bestseller when it came out last June. And it's just about bringing love into the world, specifically the workplace with this book. But the more you stand in love, the more powerful you are. Mm-hmm. Love can just negate so much of the darkness. So when you love your body, there was a scientist, Dr. Amato. No, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. Something like Amato, but he had 2 water bottles and he froze them. He spoke to one water bottle, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, I love you so much, and positively froze it. Are you familiar with this one? I love this. And then negatively to the other water bottle, froze it. They crystallized. The one he spoke to beautifully crystallized into beautiful crystals, and the other one, it was just like distorted kind of crystals. We're 80% water. Our bodies are 80% water. How we think about ourselves, how we speak to ourselves about ourselves is huge in how our body's going to respond. We're 80% water. You want it to be beautiful crystals and beautiful flow. You just the energy and the flow. You want it to just be all positive. And when you're standing in love and getting away from resentment and regret and remorse and anger and all that other stuff, when you can shift into gratitude, and appreciation has an even higher vibe than gratitude, then you're standing in love. And all things are possible when you're in love.
2 things I want to touch on. 1, For those out there, and right now in our world, it does seem like heart issues are very prevalent. So for those out there who are having heart issues, what did you practice that maybe they can start to begin to practice, to connect and to love, to help heal? Are you ready to lose inches, increase strength, and tone your body from head to toe? Are you ready for a total body, mind, and spirit transformation? I am excited to announce that I am launching my exclusive 8-week Pilates Return to Life training program. This will give you an opportunity to have a total body, mind, and spirit transformation of health and wellness to a new lifestyle. Imagine in 7 days you will feel a difference, in 14 days you will see a difference, and in 8 weeks you will have your new Pilates body. So what do you say? Want to join me on the mat? Head over to jenniferpilates.com today. Space is limited. Use a special promo code EW and the word special, EW special, to receive $200 off while space is available. Head on over to jenniferpilates.com and I'll see you on the mat.
With regard to putting love out into the world, it starts with, it's again, everything goes back to what are you thinking? Mm-hmm. If you focused on the ex that did you wrong and getting your pound of flesh, or the money that you don't have, or the car that you want that's not in your garage, or if you focused on the news and all of that fear-based stuff that's going on in the news, you want to shift away from all of that. And again, drop out of your head and into your heart. It's such a powerful area, the heart. It's the chakra that it's powerful, the magnetic field. We put out to the universe what we want based on our thoughts. And then we magnetically attract back to us the people, place, and things to make it a reality based on how we feel. Like, how does your heart feel? How does your gut feel? Like that about a certain situation. So when you have a negative thought and it's matched by a negative feeling in your heart or in your stomach, you're going to attract to you the people, place, and things that will keep you stuck there, like I said in the beginning. But when you're standing in love, and I can't emphasize this enough, and I have the chills even thinking about it because I know the difference it can make in this world with regard to the wars and everything else that's going on. When you can stand in love with you, like it starts with you, then you're giving off the energy of love. It's like a field around you that intertwines with everybody else. So you're changing somebody else's life without even realizing it. You don't even know, but you're making a huge difference by standing in that love. And if the world would know this and the world leaders would understand this, the world would be such a better place and be a powerful, powerful place of creation. And we all come into this planet with our God-given gifts. No two people are the same. We all have our God-given gifts. Nobody's better than anybody else. Nobody's better or worse than anybody else. So if you could stay in your lane, like exercising your God-given gifts and showing up as the best version of you, practice the golden rule, do unto others as you've done unto you, and the law of reciprocity, what you put out into the world, you receive, understanding that, and you just enjoy your life in your lane and you allow everybody around you to do the same, your life will be phenomenal. Like I literally walk through this planet fully as me. What you see is what you get. Like I'm on stage the same way as I'm off stage, and people know that and they comment about it. But it's freeing when you can live this way. And it's what I want for everybody. Like when you know something and you want the whole world to know because it's such a great thing. And this is what I want the world to know.
Right. I think it's amazing. And it's challenging for some out there. I can hear people going, but if all this is happening in the world, how can I be happy? How can I be in this happy bubble when, there's all this stuff going on? How do you make that magic recipe? And what suggestion do you give to someone so that they know that their value, their worth is so much more important to get into that happy love state, regardless of the outside?
Well, that's the answer. Regardless of the outside, happiness comes from within you. if you're waiting for somebody else or something else to make you happy, you're never going to be happy. You're going to be chasing happiness, and you might have a moment of it, and then it's so elusive, it'll just fall right out of your hands. The only way that you can be happy is to create it yourself. And that means you have to go within, and again, I don't think a lot of people know about that. I didn't know it until I was 25 and started reading the personal development books. I think there's a lot of people on this planet that just do not know this. But when you can go within and start to create your own happiness, and happiness is derived from servicing other people, from helping other people. When you have your hand out, not for money, not doing things to gain something in return, but when you're genuinely doing something in this world, utilizing your God-given gifts to help other people, happiness just is there. Mm-hmm. You can't help but feel happy and joy. I literally live in inner peace, love, and joy. That's how I live throughout my day. There's moments where circumstances will drop me into anger or resentment or something like that, but I don't stay there long. I just have because I know to guard my thoughts carefully. So when I drop there, I get out of there very quick. And then I just focus on what I'm grateful for. And then all of a sudden, I just have that natural feeling of happiness. And I had to work at creating that myself. It's up to every single one of you to work on you to create that for you. Don't look to the world leaders and the government and everybody else to create your happiness for you. It's not going to happen. Right. Only you can do it. And it's your responsibility. It's not fair to put that on somebody else, like a spouse or anybody else. It's up to each one of us.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. What do you feel in looking now? Because now we've even dug deeper over your life. What one moment are you most proud of to date? Because there's plenty more that's coming, plenty more for Erin coming. But today,
there is. Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Today, I know. Is there one moment that stands out to you of, wow, that moment?
Yeah. There's three. My kid's birth. When my children were born, it was the sense of pride for myself and my children. I can't even put it into words, and I'm the kind of person who, like, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, like, I bonded with the baby, like, immediately. And so when I brought the baby into the world, after every specialist said it would never happen, like the doctor swore I'd never get pregnant, like they were shocked that I conceived. And when I brought my first child into the world, it was just an extraordinary experience and proud on so many levels, that we can do, be, and have anything. And then the extraordinary experience of childbirth, like bringing another human being into the world and having it be, your baby. Those are the three proudest moments of my life.
Oh, those are so sweet and so heartfelt and such miracles. I mean, literally, you don't have one, you have three. Yeah. Well, four, including yourself.
Yeah.
Two times over at this point. So
yes.
It's quite amazing. So
I adopted my dog.
Oh, so sweet.
We rescued
him. So sweet. So what's coming up for Erin? Tell us what we can watch out for. What's in store?
Oh my God, there's so many things. I have, like I said, I have that whole 13 book series, the 13 Steps to Riches, that I'm a contributing author in with Habitude Warrior. I have my book, Work Love, that I'm now going into corporations because I want to help them establish a culture of love. So much better than command and control. You'll get so much more done. You'll have the productivity goes up and the net bottom line goes up. Everything just is improved. And the health within the environment is improved because the immune system's boosted. So I love the fact that we're back to in-person and I can now go into all these different businesses, which I've been doing, and I love it. And just speaking about this, I have the Life on Track, personally and professionally workshop that I do. So that's what I'm working on now. I have my TV show that I launched in January, Life on Track TV.
Congrats.
And there's just so many great things, but I'm creating it. Like we could all do anything that we put our mind to, and you guard your thoughts carefully and you make it happen. Mm-hmm. So many great things. And I'm also now a contributing author in another, it's called the Principles of David and Goliath. A 3-book series. Yeah.
Exciting. Really congratulations. This is so amazing. And I'm so happy that you're sharing all this because we want our listeners to know what is possible, because sometimes, and I'm sure that you run into this, it's really hard sometimes to think big. Like you can think like, oh, I'd like that front row parking spot at Target. But like getting bigger than that, sometimes people don't know how to do that. What do you have a little recipe? Do you have a vision board? Do you have a gratitude journal practice? Like what is your little secret sauce as far as all of that goes?
And let me let people know also, years ago, if you said to me, you'll make $1 million. Yeah, I would have been like, oh my God, the amount of work that goes into that. I can't even imagine. I'm a single mom. Yeah, I can't even imagine the amount of work that goes into having to make $1 million or making $1 million. And I just had to stretch my mindset. Like a couple 100,000 was fine. To me, that was easy. But you said the M word and it was like, whoa, but that was my own block. So what everybody, including myself, I needed to do and what people need to do is slowly stretch your mindset. That's why people that get a lot of money at first, they just spend it. They win the lottery and next thing you know, they're broke or they don't know what to do with it because they didn't stretch their mindset. And so slowly stretch your mindset and realize, and again, through what you speak, because our thoughts lead to what we say, which leads to the actions we take, which leads to the habits that we form, which leads to the beliefs that we have, which then leads to your ultimate destiny. So choose your thoughts wisely because it comes back to that. So I would say just allow yourself to just, first of all, dream big, write it down. Sky is just the beginning. Okay. Sky is literally just the beginning. There is no limit. So just picture yourself in a perfect world, write down exactly what you want with no limits. Don't put any of your belief systems in there of what you can't do. Like the sky's just the beginning. And then once you write it down and you read it every morning and you read it at night, and then your subconscious marinades on it throughout the night, your mindset will stretch. And before you know it, your thinking big will become your reality. So that's the biggest piece of advice that I can give to people. Like write it down, crystal clear, as if you were ordering food from DoorDash. You wouldn't say, I just want a steak, a meat, a starch, and a vegetable. And you wouldn't say, I want a steak, a starch of it. You would say, I want a ribeye medium rare, with a twice baked potato and sauteed broccoli, whole the salt. Like that crystal clear for your vision, personally and professionally, beyond your wildest dreams. Because if you can think it, you can make it happen. Beyond your wildest dreams, write it down, read it every morning. And then again, read it every night so that you're falling asleep with that on your mind. And before, like I said, before it'll be like, of course I can do this, and you'll make it happen.
Absolutely. I love that, Erin. Oh my gosh, you've been a wealth of information and insights today. I love this. Oh my goodness. So let me ask you, we're coming to this point in the show where I ask this one question. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Erin. What is one thing that no one knows about Erin Ley?
I'm an open book. Really. I'm trying to think, what is one thing that people don't know about me? When I coach from the car, during the pandemic, I started coaching from the car. So most people probably don't know that because my kids were home from school and now two of them are in college and they're still home. And we speak about anything and everything in my coaching calls. My kids don't need to hear that. So coaching from the car. And I did learn when I was coaching from the car that when you plug your phone in, to charge it, people can hear on the outside. Like people can hear what you're saying on the outside. I had no idea. So people don't know that about me.
Oh, how fun. Oh, yeah. What a good experience. And what a good idea to go do coaching in the car.
Coach from the car. You got a lot of time.
Wow. You get so much done in the car.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Phenomenal idea.
Everything else is in my office. Well, the writing and everything else, but like the actual communication in the car.
That's great. Oh my goodness. Love that. Erin, please, will you let our listeners know where they can reach out, get in contact with you, and find out all the goodies that you have going on?
Sure. They can go to my website, which is erinley.com, ERINLEY.com. And you'll see everything there. There's a free masterclass, that you could do. I have a Life on Track group course and coaching program there. My books are there. Everything is there. And if you go to worklove.com, I believe it's /free, you can receive download a free copy of my book, Work Love, as my gift to your listeners, to you and your listeners.
Thank you for that, Erin. That's amazing. Thank you. Well, I cannot thank you enough for coming here today. You have just dropped lots of goodies for us to really come into alignment with ourselves, to fight fear, and to really live authentically. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me, Jennifer. You're amazing. Thank you for the work you're doing. You're making a huge difference in this world, and I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I do my best. I try. We're trying to empower everyone around the world in as many countries as we can. That is the mission.
I love it. And you're doing a great job. Thank you. You're in service.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, as we say, everyone, until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Empowered Within with Jennifer Pilates. Your feedback is important. It helps me to connect with you and gives me insight into who you are and what you're enjoying about the show. For today's show notes and discount codes from today's sponsors, head over to jenniferpilates.com. Until next time, may you live an empowered life from within.